Hello and welcome back to True Crime Guys Podcast. I'm your host, Michael, and I got Andy with me.
Okay, so I did all of my research correctly this time.
Yes. What did you study?
The drug bear, right?
Close enough.
Oh, drug mule? Oh,
Yeah,
damn
I
it.
think you'll know half of it.
As
per usual. And you know more than me because we're doing something different today. Before we get into that, though, I must remind you guys that you can catch these episodes early and ad-free on Patreon for just $3 a month. Just a measly $3 a month. And you can hear us, sometimes up to a couple days early. Mm-hmm. No ads. That's the best part. Mm-hmm. Plus, you get to hang out with me and Andy after the show and, shoot the shit, make some jokes, talk about what's going on in life, all that kind of good stuff.
Hear all of our uncensored ideas. That
Exactly. The stuff that doesn't, it doesn't make the cut.
Yeah.
Doesn't make the cut for the mainstream. But speaking of mainstream, on the free platform, you can check out our other shows like Strange and Unexplained and Cryptic Soup wherever you listen. Speaking of Cryptic Soup, it is hosted by Thina and Kylie, or it was hosted by Thina and Kylie. They are no longer making episodes, but lucky for us here at TCG, Thina has stayed on with True Crime Guys team and is helping us tremendously. Like today, for instance. Very special case. Thina bailed me out this week because we are talking about Andrew Carter Thornton II. Right?
Not a bear, apparently.
Well, we are talking about a bear.
But he's not the bear, apparently.
He is not the bear. No, he's named after it. No. But no, we're talking about the story of Cocaine Bear that was turned into a movie. But the way we're doing it today is we're using a timeline written by Thina.
Okay.
So I'm taking the casual criminalist approach. Have you ever watched that show on YouTube?
I have.
A very charming guy reads a timeline he knows nothing about.
Listen, you're banging on all cylinders here. I'm feeling the... Why do I feel so connected to this
today? And I think it's going to be fun for both of us, Andy, to learn about Andrew Carter Thornton II and his drug smuggling shenanigans.
We do like some shenanigans here.
We love shenanigans. Also, he used to be a cop, apparently.
Oh, the best smugglers used to be.
That makes sense, right? That's why he's so damn good at it. And it took place in the 80s, which is going to be fun.
There's a lot of mustaches here.
That's right. And I think there was a movie based on it as well in 2023. Remember when that was popular?
Yeah.
I know it's only 2 years ago, but damn, time moves fast nowadays. Jesus. It's hard to believe it was 2 years ago.
Right?
I know.
That
Like cocaine movie.
Cocaine Bear
movie. Oh, my goodness.
I was talking to you about it before the show. I was like, you still haven't seen that yet?
I haven't seen it. I'm ashamed. I'm sorry. But anyways, roll that intro and let's get into it.
A most unusual story about a black bear finding cocaine said to have been dropped from the sky by a smuggler.
Yeah, the story, which includes ties to Knoxville, dates back to 1985 and is now being adapted into a movie called Cocaine Bear.
The movie is loosely inspired by true events.
It was almost like a movie. You wouldn't believe it. It seemed too good to be true.
Former Kentucky narcotics investigator turned smuggler Andrew Thornton fell to his death carrying too heavy of a load of cocaine while parachuting.
I saw this parachute and a gentleman laying there on the ground.
Several days after he was found, a black bear was found dead from apparently ingesting the drug in the mountains of Fannin County, Georgia. Next to it was 40 packages of cocaine that had been ripped open and scattered over a hillside.
And it was a multi-agency case, FBI, the TBI, everybody got involved with it. I mean, when you're talking about 300 pounds of cocaine in 1985, that's a lot of cocaine. That's a lot of cocaine.
All right. So here we go, guys. This all started on September 11th.
Oh, man. Wait a minute.
Didn't it all? Wait, what are we talking about?
What episode is this?
No. Here we go. We're on the right one. It started on September 11th when authorities received a phone call from a man named Fred Myers about a body that happened to be at the end of his driveway.
Okay.
So that might be a good reason to call authorities.
Yeah, it's not, you only expect maybe the paper laying there in the morning.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not usually a body.
Yeah.
And also, if you got some nefarious things going on, in your house or your property, you might want to button those up. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you have nothing to do with this body.
Right?
Yeah, you don't want them snooping around. But the body was found with dried blood running from the mouth. He was wearing khaki-colored clothes, black gloves, and point-blank type bulletproof vest by body armor. I didn't even know body armor. Oh, wait, body armor. I'm thinking Under Armour.
Right. You know what? I would not be surprised if Under Armour probably makes Kevlar at this point. So
They should.
I'm sure they do.
The name is dope.
Right? I mean, it's right there in the
If you're
name.
not the first ones to make Under Armour, then what are you using your money for? For real.
Spandex.
Oh, okay. There's a lot more money in spandex. You know it.
Yeah.
But the body also had several weapons, thousands of dollars in cash on it, along with over 75 pounds of cocaine in duffel bags secured to his waist.
Are we sure this wasn't D.B. Cooper?
Right? He just fell straight on that.
He just finally came out of the sky. He's been up
In
there for years.
1980. He's been up there. Oh, my God. But authorities instantly were wondering why the story, or wondering about the story behind this character, right? And it turned out he was Andrew Carter Thornton II. And he is one of America's cocaine cowboys, if you will. He was born October 30th, 1944, in a pretty wealthy Kentucky horse breeding family. And he also had some run-ins with the law and became the head member of The Company, which is a drug smuggling ring based in Kentucky.
I feel like, Andrew Carter
sounds
Thornton
cool.
II definitely comes from a wealthy horse breeding family.
No doubt.
That's
a Kentucky horse breeding family name if I ever heard one.
you've
right?
got a few not the Triple Crown. You got a few Kentucky Derby titles in that family estate.
No doubt. And had run-ins with the law? Oh, no.
Oh no.
Oh, no way. Not at a horse track.
No way. But I do love that he just went from I immediately had a wealthy horse breeding family and went to drug smuggling. Fuck that. That's way too lucrative. I'm going to go drug smuggling.
That just shows you how lucrative drug smuggling was.
Right.
Right. But Thornton was the son of Carter and Peggy Thornton, not to be confused with another Peggy Thornton, popular in Marvel.
Peggy Carter.
Peggy Carter. Oh, I'm sorry.
I did read the timeline at first. I was like, Peggy Carter. What?
That's right, Peggy Carter. I was getting those mixed up. But no, it's Carter and Peggy Thornton were his parents. He grew up in Lexington, Kentucky. He attended a private school and was part of the polo club, of course, then transferred to a military academy. Thornton was a member of the ROTC and attended UK for a semester, University of Kentucky, for those of you that don't know, before dropping out to join the old Army, the old Army of the US of A, the best army in the world, Andy.
So far.
Yeah. Thornton trained at Fort Bragg as a paratrooper. He participated in the 1965 U.S. invasion of the Dominican Republic and received a Purple Heart for his service. Thornton returned to school in 1966, but dropped out after a year and started training racehorses with his dad. After quitting the Army, he joined the Lexington Fayette Urban County Police Department, and in 1968 he also married Betty Zering. In 1971, he started taking night classes at Eastern Kentucky and graduated with a degree in law enforcement. He became a member of the Lexington Police Department, specifically the Narcotics Squad.
Okay.
Yeah, in the early 1970s. And he worked on narcotics investigations with the Louisville PD and also the Drug Enforcement Administration.
Okay, this guy's getting some early narcotics experience in the 70s.
He is.
And then, I don't know if you remember a lot of narcotics in the 80s, Michael. There was an influx of that.
Yeah, I felt like it was coming from the southeast somewhere, maybe
Yeah.
from another country. Maybe it'll come up in this case. So in 1981, shit got kind of crazy with Thornton. One of his connections, Bradley Bryant, was arrested. And Thornton and Bryant were lifelong friends. Bryant had been the best man at Thornton's wedding.
Yeah, that's a pretty close connection, I would say.
Very close. And in 1981, Bryant was arrested in a hotel in Philadelphia when maids smelled marijuana coming from his room. How dare they?
Fucking
Those
narc-ass maids.
Freaking narc-ass maids. In Bryant's possession at the time of his arrest was a multitude of semi-automatic weapons, disguises, and more than 10 fraudulent Kentucky driver's licenses, and $22,000 in cash. His notebook contained the names and addresses of several Lexington men, including Thornton, as well as references to planned operations. Jesus, dude, writing code.
When you're
Son of a bitch.
fucking outfitted like
You ever heard of
Jason
Blacklight
Bourne,
Inc?
when you're outfitted like Jason Bourne, don't hang out in your hotel room like Cheech and Chong. Don't attract attention when you're clearly trying to avoid attention.
Seriously, dude.
Don't smoke the loudest fucking.
Right. Or go for a walk, dude. Go for a drive. Go find somewhere else away from all of this shit.
Yeah, you're sitting there like waiting for like the
Oh,
DEA to show up.
Seriously. So, this guy that got arrested, this brainiac, old Bryant, initially told police he was involved in a CIA assignment. Within days of his arrest, several federal agencies joined the investigation, and a few months later, 25 individuals were indicted in Fresno, California, and charged with conspiracy to import and distribute marijuana and steal government property from the China Lake Naval Base.
Oh yeah, no, don't arrest me. I'm actually a CIA plant.
Right.
You want to show us a badge? Ah, fuck. I didn't think you were gonna ask him any questions.
It's in my other bag. But Thornton was among 25 men that were accused from this arrest. Thornton remained a fugitive for several months, but after U.S. Customs agents seized a 56-foot converted minesweeper carrying 1,500 pounds of marijuana off the Louisiana coast and discovered that a machine gun on board belonged to Thornton, the search kind of picked up a little bit.
Why did he have a machine gun?
I don't know. Why'd you put it in your name?
Yeah, why was it registered?
Idiot!
You're a drug smuggler.
Anyways. After his apprehension, U.S. Marshals transported Thornton to Fresno for his arraignment, where he posted $75,000 in cash and $1 million personal surety bond, which he paid in the form of 3 racehorses.
You know what? I immediately thought of.
That's
I
kinda cool,
immediately think that this guy was such a like white spoiled boy from Kentucky that he probably got a machine gun and just went back to his old summer camp days where he's like, well, you have to put your name on everything so that they know it's yours and it doesn't get lost and found. So mine has to say Carter Andrew Thornton the third or the second on there.
Yeah, and
it's
he
like
had it
like a
tucked
name,
up under his bed just in case.
Had a little name tag under the grip of it. So it's like, fucking agents just walked up. It's like, who the hell, bro?
Yeah. It's like a little etched gold plaque on the stock.
Yeah, it's like an LL Bean book bag.
What the hell?
It's like, did this motherfucker monogram his?
He did. And he ended up returning to Kentucky to await trial on February 27th, 1982. 3 days before he was scheduled to appear for a hearing in Fresno, Thornton was shot twice in the chest at close range as he was leaving a Lexington restaurant. The bullets didn't penetrate his bulletproof vest, and authorities believe the shooting had been staged to persuade the judge that his life would be in danger should he be incarcerated.
Yeah, that sounds like a Sopranos move right there. It's like, all right, I'm gonna wear this vest. I'm gonna go eat some dinner.
Yeah.
Then when I come out, I want you to shoot me in the chest. Don't hit me in the stomach. I don't want to throw
I
up.
swear to God, if you shoot me in the stomach.
I'm gonna eat. I don't want to throw up. Hit me in the chest. It's a new suit.
Wait till I take the jacket off. Okay? I swear to God, if you shoot through this jacket.
That'll be the sign. I'll undo the jacket, and my hands will go in my pockets, and that's when you know.
It's a $400 jacket right here, okay? You hear me? It's coming at your ass if you shoot it. All right. But he ended up pleading no contest in Fresno to a misdemeanor drug charge, and the felony charges were also dropped. Thornton was sentenced to 6 months in prison, fined $500, placed on probation for 5 years, and had his law license suspended. That's it.
He still got shot twice.
Yeah, that's true.
It's also still got took 2 to the chest with a bulletproof vest on
with
him.
the bulletproof vest, though.
Yeah, it's still hurting like a bitch.
Definitely. But after this, it is believed that Thornton turned to smuggling full-time, and actually was living his life as a millionaire who was constantly doing runs from Colombia to the U.S.
Probably got disowned by his rich family at this point.
I mean, like 6 months in prison, dude, and fined $500. He found $500 on his couch, bro. He's like, yeah, sure, here you go.
He's like, can
$500.
Do I have to pay that in hundreds, or do you need it in small bills?
What? Yeah, how would you prefer it? But following his conviction, Thornton was constantly being sought out for questioning, usually in what police assumed as connections to, the entire event. For example, Gene Barry, a Florida state's attorney, was murdered at point-blank range on January 16, 1982, when he opened the door to his Punta Gorda residence. He had successfully prosecuted one of Thornton Fresno's co-members, Robert S. Walker. He was a witness against Thornton in the case, and he was found strangled in a swamp in Tampa. The man who informed Customs of Thornton's involvement with the Louisiana smuggling vessel had his throat slit in Miami. Harold Wade Brown, the former head of the DEA office in Kentucky, was actually a really good friend of Thornton's from when he was on the force, and he was found shot to death in his home as an apparent suicide.
This is some very this is some like cartel looking shit now.
This is like a crime thriller novel right here.
Yeah, it's like some true detective type shit now. You got
no doubt.
Everybody who's involved just starts turning up dead.
Seriously. But at this time, Thornton wasn't slowing down at all. He was moving loads of cocaine into the U.S. from Colombia using his Cessna 404 plane. And on September 11th, 1985, the weight was a little too much for the little plane. Got to stay by those manufacturer suggestions.
His what's your eye was too big for your stomach or whatever?
Yeah.
It's like, I can absolutely fit all this cocaine on the plane.
Throw it on there.
Says the man who was doing too much cocaine before he loaded the cocaine on the plane.
Yep. So, but he figured that he would drop some of it and return for it later. Okay. So he ended up not going. So after dropping packages of cocaine out of the plane near Blairsville, Georgia, Thornton put the plane on autopilot and parachuted out with 75 pounds of cocaine strapped to his body. Thornton jumped from the plane, but actually fell to his death when he bailed out of the plane. Some think that he hit his head on the tail of the aircraft and didn't open his parachute until it was too late. But he ended up landing in someone's yard in Knoxville, Tennessee, and that was the gentleman at the beginning of the episode, obviously.
I'd still love that he's dropping just enough on the way down, but he still is like, how much can I put on me? Like, how much? I can probably put another pound or two on me.
Maybe his parachute wasn't rated for someone that heavy.
No, I feel like, because I don't think his parachute was open. That's what they were saying.
That's right.
So yeah, it's like they just found like the parachute never even deployed. So it's either he knocked himself unconscious.
What if he strapped the cocaine over top of where the parachute would come out, like an idiot?
That would be. I'm sure they probably would have found that out, but that would be pretty funny too.
But you might not be able to tell by the time he hits the ground. You know how?
I'm surprised they were even.
Who knows?
Yeah, it's a pretty bad sight when they find him too.
Yeah. So a key in Thornton's pocket matched the tail number of the wrecked plane that was found in Hayesville. It was in Clay County, North Carolina, about 60 miles away, right on, so western North Carolina. Thornton had directed the aircraft toward the Atlantic Ocean and set it to autopilot before making his jump. When his body was found, Thornton reportedly had on a bulletproof vest, Gucci loafers, night vision goggles, survival gear, a stiletto dagger, food rations, vitamins, a compass, an altimeter, an identification papers in 2 different names, and a membership card to the Miami Jockey Club.
That's the most weird one to me. It's like I would have been just as more like awkward if he had like his Costco card, like just a it's like, oh, I forgot my Jockey Club card. Shit,
damn it!
I can't go anywhere without this.
I can't go anywhere without that, man. But he also had his green Army duffel bag containing the 75 pounds of cocaine in 34 football-sized bundles that were labeled USA 10, 4,500 in cash. He also had 4,500 in cash, 2.8 grams of gold Krogerins?
Like some kind of South African coin, I guess.
Krogerins? Some type of South African coin. He had knives, a Browning 9mm automatic pistol, a .22 caliber Derringer, and books with names and codes. His pocket had a paper with 3 epigrams on them.
This man was like expecting to be out in the woods for a while, it seems.
It seemed that way,
like this
right?
man was like prepped and ready to go. He's like, well, I don't think this plan's going to go anywhere, so I'm taking everything.
Yeah, except for the Gucci loafers.
Well, I mean, have you seen these things? They're fucking sweet.
Yeah, I guess you got to be comfortable while you're out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. An examination of the body revealed that Thornton had died 6 to 8 hours earlier in the same place where his body was discovered. The police were soon notified by the Macon County Sheriff's Office that a crashed Cessna 404 had been found with no signs of any fatalities or survivors. Police connected the plane to Thornton and started piecing things together. Days later, clothes, maps of Jamaica, and a pilot's logbook bearing the Cessna's number were also discovered.
And during the entire time, there is a bear, Michael.
There is a bear. Don't forget about the bear. We're getting there. Now, during the investigation, authorities brought up the fact that Thornton had deployed his backup parachute, but not the main parachute. The main parachute was later located some distance away, indicating that he lost it while in free fall. An examination of both parachutes indicated they were of high quality and neither had any flaws.
So yeah, it kind of sounds to me like this guy was possibly a little possibly high when he did this. He's doing a little, or maybe he's just panicking so much that he can't think straight. But I feel like he's much more concerned about how much cocaine can he save than almost ensuring that he's going to be safe.
Right, exactly. So based on Thornton's history of drug smuggling, investigators guessed that there was more cocaine than what he had on him, right? So they started searching around. And nearly 2 months later, November of 1985, a hunter discovered a dead 175-pound black bear in the Chattahoochee National Forest in the mountains of Fannin County, Georgia, just south of the Tennessee border. The hunter did not inform authorities of the discovery of the bear because he just assumed at first it was a normal bear that died of some sort of normal circumstances.
No, this was the most apex predator on the goddamn planet for about 45 minutes.
5 minutes. Solid bliss.
Like we talked about before. Let us see
God.
this bear versus 100 gorillas.
That's right. So 3 weeks passed before a game and fish agent learned of the bear and informed the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. When authorities finally discovered the bear's body on December 20th, there were 40 bags of cocaine that were found open and empty.
Whoa, good night.
He's a hungry bear.
That thing did a whole Motley Crue tours worth of cocaine in one day.
In one day. On December 23rd, 1985, the GBI released their first official statements regarding the event to the United Press International that appeared in the New York Times. It read as such, quote, "A bear died of an overdose of cocaine after discovering a batch of the drug. The cocaine was apparently dropped from a plane piloted by Andrew Thornton, a convicted drug smuggler who died September 11th in Knoxville, Tennessee, because he was carrying too heavy a load while parachuting. The Bureau said the bear was found Friday in northern Georgia among 40 open plastic containers with traces of cocaine." End quote.
That shows you right there how addicting cocaine is.
That bear could not stop.
That bear could not fucking stop.
40 containers, Andy.
That is like I said, that's a Motley Crue tour worth of cocaine in one afternoon. And Jesus Christ, God have mercy on any fucking soul that just came across that bear's path. Which is what the movie's all about. It's wonderful.
But Gary Garner of the GBI told the Associated Press, "The bear got to it before we could, and he tore the duffel bag open, got him some cocaine, and OD'd. Nowadays, there's nothing left but bones and a big hide."
Says the guy with like a weirdly shaped brick under his shirt. Yep, there was nothing left.
Nothing left. Nothing at all. But the bear was taken to the Georgia State Crime Lab, where Dr. Kenneth Alonzo, the state chief's medical examiner at the time, performed the autopsy. Pablo Escobar was what they called him. That was the nickname given to the 175-pound American black bear. Really not that big of a bear.
That's a pretty small black bear, but
That's
still.
probably why all the cocaine killed it so quickly.
You would have given that to what's that one bear out in like it's like I don't remember Montana. He's like the boss or something like that. Have you seen that guy?
That big old grizzly?
Yeah, he's like responsible for like 80% of the grizzly bear population.
Oh yeah.
It's like give it to that thing right there. We would have a new like bear democracy. I feel like if that guy had it.
I think humans wouldn't be the apex species anymore, man.
No. Calling the National Guard wherever that guy was.
That's right. But Dr. Alonzo stated that its stomach was literally packed to the brim with cocaine, with the total amount of cocaine approximately being eaten by the black bear was 75 pounds. Alonzo says the estimated amount of cocaine the bear had absorbed was only 3 to 4 grams into its bloodstream at the time of its death.
Funny enough,
That's all it took.
Same thing on Rick James's autopsy report.
Really? Coincidence? I think not.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Hell of a drug. So 9 coke-stuffed duffel bags were eventually recovered along the plane's flight path, and the cocaine bear was found 3 months later in the woods just south of the Tennessee-Georgia state line, sprawled next to the ripped-open 10th bag. The investigators found more than 300 pounds of cocaine in a search that ended up lasting several months.
The funny thing is, they technically never really know how much cocaine was dumped. Because it's like the only person who really knew was the guy on the plane who knew how much cocaine was really on the plane.
Yeah.
So it's like they have to just hope that all the bags they found were all the bags.
Yeah.
It's like they found this many bags, found 9 bags, and then the 10th bag the bear got, or it's like, yeah, he only dumped 10 bags.
Somebody else in backwoods Georgia that just made a shit ton of money.
Yes. It's like, he dumped 10 bags, he's laying there on the autopsy table.
Somebody just got out the ghetto, and they're like, how?
Yeah, so I was like, there was clearly 14 bags here.
Right.
Yep.
Call it 10. But Dr. Alonzo did not want to waste the body of the bear, so he had it taxidermed and gift to the Chattahoochee River National Recreation Area. However, at some point, the bear was moved to storage to protect it from the threat of wildfires. And somehow, it disappeared. The bear was lost until it emerged again in a Nashville pawn shop years later. Who sold it to country singer Waylon Jennings.
Oh, fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, right on. Jennings bought it and kept it in his Las Vegas home. Once Jennings died, the bear was bought by a Chinese herbalist in Reno. And when the herbalist died, his widow kept it. Eventually, the bear was tracked down, and it made its way to the Kentucky Fun Mall in Lexington, Kentucky, where it still remains to this day.
I feel like Harrison Ford, but that thing belongs in a museum.
Right.
It belongs in a museum.
Belongs in a museum. On March 9th, 2021, Universal Pictures announced that a film based on the true story of the cocaine bear was in development. It was also confirmed that the film would be directed by Elizabeth Banks. She's the lady that played Effie Trinket. She was in Pitch Perfect, if you are unfamiliar.
I'm familiar.
I know you are, Andy. I actually did like the first Pitch Perfect. I did like it. I have to admit. I enjoyed it very much. But she was a producer on the 2019 Charlie's Angels and more. In the trailer for the movie, the bear goes on a cocaine-induced carnage spree, and it turns a little bloody, a little gory, gets a little crazy, right, Andy?
Mm-hmm. It's one of those movies like the old Mitch Hedberg joke where it's like, is this a true story or was this story inspired by true events?
Yeah,
and it's like I saw a documentary about a gorilla and it inspired me to write this joke. It's like, well, what is it about? Yeah, like this is about the cocaine bear. It's not the true story of the cocaine bear.
Right.
It's what we all imagine happened with the cocaine bear.
Right. It's what we figured would happen if a bear got cocaine.
If it was the wrong bear. This just happened
Obviously,
to be...
this bear didn't run across anybody or anything. It was just so obsessed with eating the cocaine.
Eating the obnoxious amount of cocaine that it was doing.
It only took 3 to 4 grams in the bloodstream.
It doesn't matter. It ate fucking like 75. It ate like, what was it? Like 10 bags or what was it? 40 bags of cocaine?
No, I know. I'm just saying it only took 3 to 4 grams to kill it.
Mm-hmm. And yet it kept going.
Yeah.
Shows you life finds a way.
Well, it had to take time to take effect, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, even in the bear community, right?
That's right. Yeah, it takes time.
That bear needed a good lawyer.
No doubt. All right, but you might not need a good lawyer, but you know what you need you need a good deodorant.
You do.
Everybody needs a good
deodorant.
Wilderness. That's right, especially out there in the wilderness. And lucky for you, there's Oh My Gaia. Oh My Gaia is an innovative, all-natural deodorant, fragrance, and beard oil company specializing in paraben and aluminum-free products. Their innovative line of deodorants inhibit the growth of odor-causing bacteria while still maintaining effectiveness. There's tons of scents to choose from, guys. We have our own scent here called True Crimepine. You can also check out all the other scents at ohmygaia.com. That's ohmygaia.com. There's Barbershop and Sailor, Sweet Pea, Pear, Bergamot Amber, Fireside, Honeysuckle, Lumberjack, all kinds, guys. And again, because you're True Crime Guys listeners, you can use the code word Crimepine, all one word, Crimepine, Crimepine, and you can get 15% off your order at ohmygaia.com, ohmygaia.com. You guys will not regret it. Also, give them a follow on Instagram at shop_ohmygaia, and give us a follow too at True Crime Guys while you're there, at True Crime Guys on all the socials. And don't forget to check out Patreon, patreon.com/True Crime Guys, where you can get access to everything we have ever made here at True Crime Guys, all the way back to 2017 when we first started our Patreon and our podcasting journey. All of those audio files are there for your listening pleasure. Plus, you get to hear these episodes early and ad-free with a little bonus content, which we are about to get into. So if you're listening on Patreon, hang on, because me and Andy got a little more to talk about here at the end.
Mm-hmm. Little palate cleanser for you.
That's right. Well, this was a fun one, honestly.
Yeah.
This was a fun case. Drug smuggling, cocaine bears.
Yeah.
It's right up our alley.
It's an encore for you then.
That's right. Encore. Here we go. All right, guys. But next week, we'll be back with another regular old True Crime Guys case. Until then, you just have to keep on creeping.
Bye.